Yeah, the brass is really tarnished, like, and just in spots. Like this blade here. There's a lot of spots with nice shine left to it. Like right there on the motor, as you can see. Except for just a little dot there on that one vent hole, and then down this blade bracket. A little bit on the end there. Camera's kind of doing it favors, like you can see a lot more blemishes. Can you see there, just kind of, yeah, it's a little worse in real life. Shut the door, because that's just too much light. This is the other side of the motor. So you can see just more little blemishes and just little dots of tarnish. I kind of cleaned them off. I just wiped them with a rag. I didn't use anything on them. You can see like that's not something that will come off. And the other side. And you can see on the switch housing here, there's rust spots all over. You're on that speed thingy. A line of it right there. And then around that switch a little bit. Anyways, here's this side of the motor here. Same thing, just random little blemishes. Well, okay, I'll ramble about the bearings a little bit here before I just turn it on. This fan wouldn't even turn with its own power. Like, the bearings were extremely tight. And that was just, I'm guessing, from the grease just completely solidified and was subject to moisture and different things. Like, you could still turn it, but it was just kind of tough to turn, you know, like the fan wouldn't even turn on its own power. It would just sit there and hum. Like if you went like this with it on, it would just basically go like that. I'm just trying to point out that it wasn't sea solid, like it wasn't rusted up. It was just so full of dirt and stove grease, big time. See, as you can see on the top of the blade there, how it's kind of brown, that's not shadow, that's stove grease. There's just a huge layer of it up there. There is just a little bit at the bottom of the blades, but I managed to wipe it off half decently. Just around the edges you can kind of see it there, but anyways, back to the original topic of that. If there's that much stove grease on the top of these blades, well, imagine how much stove grease is in these bearings. Like, especially the top one, like, I don't know if you can tell, but it's full of stove grease, just like the top of the blades. So that probably had a lot to do with the extreme stiffness of the bearings. But yeah, it spins freely now. Some ginger oiling, literally like 3 drops of 20W50 I think I used, and then like 1 drop of 3-in-1 oil, and that did the trick. It's really noisy now though, and I mean it when I say it's noisy. Here's high. I didn't even bother putting a piece of tape on the motor because you can plainly hear the RPM of this thing. It doesn't spin a great deal of speed considering the size of motor on it, but the blades are kind of steeply pitched, so it still moves a lot of air. See, not too bad a pitch. Anyways, here's medium. The light is functional. Yeah, this thing makes a tremendous amount of noise. Like, I don't know how well my camera is going to pick up the intense sound it makes. It might just sound like it's not that bad, but when you're standing by any of the walls in here with this thing on, especially on high, it sounds like there's a train coming. Literally, like, there's just this rumbling sound and it almost trips me out sometimes. The motor doesn't even get hot at all. It gets like just barely lukewarm if it's been on high for a couple hours. And here's low. This is something else that I like about this fan. It doesn't really have like a super low speed, but it's a fair bit slower than most 36-inch fans, at least of today anyways. It may make lots of bearing sound, but it sure doesn't hum at all. Like, just a little wee bit of hum, which is expected from mounting it straight onto a piece of board there. As you can see, it's not using a box or anything, it's just the bracket straight onto the board. That usually makes it emit any little bit of hum it does, and you can hardly hear it, so it's a really silent fan if it didn't make bearing sound. Holy crap, I can't believe I made this almost 20 minutes already. Wow. Okay, just a quick reverse. Medium. High. and off. The spin down time is actually not too bad on this thing. And there it is. Thanks for watching.